This is the DuroMax XP13000EH dual-fuel portable generator. A blue and gray open-frame steel unit with big never-flat wheels, foldable handles, and a dense control panel that looks like a power hub. It's wide and tall, about 30 by 29 by 26 inches, and it sits heavy at around 234 pounds. The frame feels rugged, the tires are chunky, and the panel is packed with outlets, a multimeter, and a large fuel selector you can grip with gloves. Visually, it screams job site tough, home backup ready. From my experience, the very first hurdle is assembly. The wheel and handle kit is simple on paper, but getting them on is a two-person job because you need to tip the unit onto padding without stressing the frame. I managed it solo with caution, but I don't recommend that. The tools in the box are okay, yet I hit an annoying snag. The battery cover bolts on my unit were stuck like they'd been painted over at the factory. I had to bring out my own tools and work them loose. That was my first hint that quality control can be hit or miss. Once it's all together though, the generator feels like a tank. The handles give you leverage, and the wheels roll fine on concrete and compact dirt. Just don't confuse portable with light. Moving it around a garage is one thing, lifting it into a truck bed is a different story, and in my opinion, a team job with a ramp. Key features that sold me were the dual fuel setup, the 50 amp 120 240V outlet for a home transfer switch, the electric start, the CO sensor, and the hour meter. The outlet spread is generous. You get that 50 amp for whole home use, a 120 240V 30 amp twist lock, a 120V 30 amp twist lock, and standard 120V GFCI household outlets. The multimeter is useful because it shows voltage and frequency and logs runtime so you can time your oil changes. The engine is a 500cc four-stroke that claims 13,000 starting watts and 10,500 running watts, and the gas tank is large enough for real work. The panel layout is straightforward, and the big fuel selector makes switching between gasoline and propane simple. When I wired it to a 50 amp transfer switch and simulated an outage, it delivered. It handled my central AC starting up, plus 2 refrigerators, a freezer, lights, and a microwave. No sputter, no flicker, just steady power. If you've never used a transfer switch, it's a dedicated, code-friendly panel that lets you safely route generator power into selected house circuits. No extension cord spaghetti, no dangerous backfeeding. For a typical home sitting around a couple thousand watts of average draw, the XP13000EH has plenty of headroom for surges like well pumps or an AC compressor kicking on. On fuel, here's how I use it. I prefer propane for storage because it doesn't go bad, and the engine starts fast on propane with the push of a button. For extended outages, I keep gasoline on hand with stabilizer. Expect real thirst either way. On gasoline, plan roughly 8 hours at about half load from a full tank, give or take. On propane, a standard 20-pound barbecue cylinder can drain in around 3 to 3.5 hours under similar load. That's an important reality check. If you live in a place with long outages, you're going to want a bigger propane tank or a healthy gasoline reserve. I've also seen propane frost on the cylinder when I'm pulling hard. A simple water bath around the tank helped maintain fuel flow by warming the tank a bit. Electric start is great until winter hits. In my opinion, this is the weak spot. The starter on my unit struggled in cold weather, and the stock battery felt cheap. I now keep a trickle charger on it and upgraded the battery so it will actually hold a charge. There's a pull start as a fallback and it works, but pulling on a 500cc engine isn't fun if you're bundled up and it's freezing. If you live where temperatures drop, plan for battery maintenance like it's part of the job.
Let's talk noise and power quality. The noise rating is around the mid-70s dBA, which is quiet for something this big, but it's not quiet by any normal standard. Outdoors and away from windows, it's manageable. Your neighbors will hear it. As for power quality, the THD, total harmonic distortion, can sit under 12%. For beginners, THD is a measure of how clean the electricity is. Sensitive electronics like gaming PCs, smart TVs, or studio gear prefer a clean sine wave with low THD. This generator is a workhorse for motors, heaters, fridges, and pumps, not delicate electronics. I keep my computers and high-end TV off it unless I run them through a good line interactive UPS or power conditioner. It's perfect for whole home essentials, but not perfect for a media editing rig or a server rack without extra protection. Reliability is the question everyone asks. From my experience, the first 40 hours were smooth. Oil changes are simple, though the dipstick location behind a frame brace is awkward. Over time, I noticed it sipping more oil than expected during long runs, about a pint every day or so, under steady use. So I check oil at every refuel out of habit. What keeps me cautious are the owner reports I've read about early failures on some units. Cracked pistons, catastrophic engine issues, or systems that just stop under 100 hours. I've even heard of shops with several of these waiting for repair at the same time. I can't prove those numbers. I can only say I've seen enough accounts that I take maintenance seriously. I run it monthly, let it get up to temperature, and I keep a log of runtime, oil changes, and spark plug checks. In my opinion, this generator can deliver, but it demands attention. A quick word on safety, because it matters. The CO sensor can shut the unit down if it detects carbon monoxide building up, which is a life-saving feature. Always run it outdoors, far from doors, windows, and vents. If you're new to generators, never plug it into a wall outlet. Use a transfer switch or properly rated cords and inlet hardware installed by a pro. It's not just about rules, it's about keeping everyone safe while you keep the lights on. On portability, the wheels and handles do their job, and the frame is easy to grab from different angles. Still, at 234 pounds, this is not a one-person lift. If your plan involves moving it to a job site or loading it often, get a ramp and a buddy, or consider a smaller unit for mobility and keep this one as a stationary backup. In my opinion, the XP13000EH shines when you need big, simple power with fuel flexibility. It's perfect for running a house through a transfer switch, powering a job site with heavy tools, or keeping a well pump and large AC alive during a heat wave. The dual fuel option reduces stress about stale gas, and the 50-amp 240V outlet means fewer compromises on what you can run at the same time. The flip side is the noise, the fuel appetite, and the fact that power quality isn't ideal for delicate electronics. The other wild card is long-term reliability. I treat mine like a strong worker that needs a careful supervisor. I'd recommend this for homeowners who want whole home capacity during occasional outages, contractors who need a lot of wattage on a temporary project, and anyone who values propane storage and the convenience of an electric start, provided you're willing to keep the battery maintained and do regular checkups. If you rely on sensitive electronics, or you want something whisper quiet and ultra clean, I'd steer you to an inverter generator instead, or pair this with a solid UPS for your office gear. If you need absolute certainty for frequent long outages and you don't want to wrench or watch oil levels closely, you might be happier with a unit known for lower THD and a track record of long-hour reliability, even if it costs more. From my experience, owning the XP13000EH is a trade-off. The power is real and the versatility is valuable, but you carry a little anxiety about longevity in cold weather starts. Keep fresh oil on hand, keep the battery healthy, and test it monthly. If you treat it like a serious machine instead of a set-and-forget appliance, it can pay you back when the grid drops. In conclusion, the DuroMax XP13000EH is a brute force solution that can run an entire home with the flip of a switch, and it earns that promise when it's running. It asks for regular attention, a sensible fuel plan, and some realism about noise and power quality. If that fits your needs and your habits, it's a solid choice at its price point. If you want silent, pristine power with zero fuss, look elsewhere or supplement with a UPS for your sensitive gear. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or experiences in the comments so we can learn from each other. Thank you for watching.